3 sewers or 4 sewers? Oh, okay. We're not doing that, sure. Yeah.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, cool. So, who would like to go first?
Group 5.
Okay, does anybody have any meetings or things that they need to attend to which might restrict their flexibility?
Yeah.
I have something I need to do in 40 minutes, so maybe we'll have a bit of time, I guess.
Okay, good. Anyone else?
I want to step out for 10 minutes now.
Okay. So Abdi Karim and Doorhead
Yeah.
Saloom. Good.
Also for us in
Yep.
Group 5, I have a meeting also.
All right.
I think Mark has a meeting. I will be available at 10. Thank you.
All right.
That I've already chatted about it.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So maybe we can go group 5 and then group 2 and then group 3 and then group 2 and then we'll go from there. Cool. All right. So group 5, are you ready?
Yeah, all good.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, whoever is sharing their screen, you are welcome to share your screen.
I will be sharing my screen.
Excellent.
Thank you, Muhammad, for sharing the screen. Today, hi everyone, and very good morning. Today, I will be presenting the survey about life in Australia. And before I start, I'd like to introduce the group members. I start with myself. I work with McConnell Dowell, and I live in Buckingham. My hobbies, I like playing chess and football, but football is hard to find team. Second member is Sayed. Sayed also has some hobbies, swimming and jogging, and also he works with Lang Orok. Sorry if I pronounce wrong, it's hard to pronounce this one. Lang Orok company, and he live in, not sure where he live. Okay, Muhammad. Also, Muhammad, he likes riding bikes, swimming. Also, he is a big fan of Richmond in 40. He like 40, and he said he is big fan of Richmond team. And that's for group members. We started, I will start to present life in Australia. I would choose this topic because it's interesting to know the experience of other students among the groups. And after that, we choose 10 questions among 10 students. The first question, if you pass to the slides, is we ask about the country of origin. So there are 4 countries among 10 students, most of them from Yemen, was 4 students, while from Iraq, 3 students. Nigeria, just 1 student. From Saudi Arabia, only 2 students. You pass to the second. We also ask about the reason of moving to Australia. And we found that most of them just to find a better life. And some of them who interested just to work, 30%. We also asked them about the date of moving to Australia. And we found that most of them moved recently in 2019, about 6 students, while in 2018, just 2 students. In 2013, just one, and also in 2021, just one. I will share the other slides to say it.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Amr, for your introduction and for the presentation. And I'm going to take on describing the other questions we had in our survey. So we had a question asking the students, how satisfied are you with living in Australia? So we found out of the 10 students that 6 were very satisfied, 4 were satisfied, and none were unsatisfied. And the next question we had is that do you have a family living with you in Australia? And five students, which counts of 50%, had a family living with them, and 50% had no family living with them in Australia. And the third question we had is the monthly expenses for each student in Australia. So we had only one student which spends up to $1,500 per month. 3 students which spend up to $2,500 per month, and 5 students which spends up to $4,000 per month. And now, thank you everyone for your time. And now I'm going to pass to Muhammad.
Hi everyone. So I will be presenting the last section, which it's just with the special word start with do. So we asked 10 students about, do you own a house? And only 1 student who has a house. 9 of them, they don't. And we asked them, how do you feel? Do you feel free, or do you feel freedom in Australia in terms of all the activities, including the religion? And 10 of them said yes. And the last one, how do you feel? Do you feel safe in the country? Most of them with 6 was very safe, and 4 with they feel safe, and with none unsafe. And in conclusion, we found that most of the students are happy to live in the country, and most of them has planned to buy a house. And for the last things, if you guys have anything to ask us, otherwise we will just end our presentation.
Yay, very good. Well done.
Sorry, I have actually a question. We didn't know that we have cadets from Saudi Arabia. We have 2 cadets. We don't know them, maybe.
Well, the question was asking about where did you born, and 2 of them was born in Saudis.
Okay.
Yeah, Said, if you want to add anything.
Yeah, nothing to add. You already addressed his comment.
Yes, so there is a difference between the question, where are you from, and where were you born? So, yeah. I mean, you because you are in Australia and you have spent a lot of time in Australia, you could ostensibly say, I am from Australia because you have lived here. But you might be born in somewhere else, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Djibouti, Eritrea, etc., etc. So there's a difference. I would welcome you to take on your Australian identity by saying, I am Australian, or I am from Australia. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. That was good. So I've just put some comments in the chat that I've made. Introduction was good. it was a very sweet and earnest introduction of the members in your group. Just check the capitals with countries. So for a country like Saudi Arabia, the A needs to be capitalized as well. Good slide headings. I like the way you paraphrase the question into the presentation. So rather than just having the question at the top of the slide, you summarize what the question was with your heading. And I thought that was a very effective and very professional way of presenting the question into the presentation. So congratulations on that. And also your transitions were good. The cohesion between group members was really nice. So yeah, really good. Good start. You've set a very high standard for the other cadets.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome.
Pleasure to hear that.
No worries. All right, so let's do group 3 now. Okay, group 3, Alia, Mohammed Thomas, and Abdul Hawad Saloom, please.
Yes, may I share the screen to show the presentation?
Please, someone has to.
Yeah. Yeah, I will just in a minute.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdul Wahid Saloom, and today I'll be presenting for Group 3, Life in Australia. Just before I start, Mohammed Tamas, he was just came with us. When you're presenting your part, if you could turn on your camera when you're presenting. So let's get started. My name is Abdul Wahid Saloom. I work for Seymour White Construction. I'm Syrian, was born in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Alia, she worked for NELP, Northeast Link Project. She is from Iraq. And Muhammad Tamas, who is from Afghanistan, he worked with Seymour White as well. We are colleagues. So now let's jump to the next slide. Alia, if you could.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. Now, today presentations cover general parts which are related to the life in Australia. One of them is just a general introduction into it. Secondly, we ask some questions about life in Melbourne, study life, food and shopping, as well as sports. So let's take a general introduction into our questionnaire. So the questions we asked 10 respondents. The respondents are part of the EPIC program. And as part of the EPIC program, all of them come from a refugee asylum seeker background. And many of them have migrated in the past 5 years. Those respondents are from various genders, races, as well as backgrounds. So let's jump into the first category, which is life in Australia in general. So we asked 10 students about the year of arrival, and in general, they have arrived between 2016 to 2022, as you guys can see. But overall, they're split evenly between those categories, as you guys could see. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, as well, 2022 to present day. Now, let's look at the other questions that we asked our respondents. Why did you choose Australia? And as you guys could see, as us coming from a refugee background, safety was the number one priority for everyone here. Now, there are other amazing things. Australia is an amazing country. So you had the job security, living standard, as well as the stability as one of the matters that were raised. Now, let's continue the next question, which is life in Australia, which will be presented, which I'll continue presenting. Melbourne weather have various answers from people. As you can see, they're also, again, evenly spread here. So especially when this question was asked, people were having rain nonstop and still raining to this day. So it doesn't help this question. So most of the people saying it's neutral to good. but there are three people who are like, it's kind of bad compared to where I come from. So let's jump to the next question.
Yeah, I think I will continue from here,
Oh,
Salum.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Salum. My name is Alia Mohammed. I'm here today to talk with you about our survey about live in Australia, and I will continue with the more question about this kind of topic. So we're gonna continue with one of the other question about the preferred area of living. We asked the people we interviewed about what they prefer to live. Is it in the CBD or in a suburban area or regional? And 50% of the people we interviewed prefer to live in the suburban, and 40% in the CBD, and 10% in the regional. For the other questions, we asked them about living space type, what kind of accommodation they currently live in, and 50% of them they live in houses, and 30% live in units, and 20% in apartments. So there is a variety of accommodation for the people we interviewed. For the other question, we asked them about what kind of activities during the leisure time that they mostly enjoyed. And the results says that 50% of them enjoying the outdoor activities, and some 30% of them enjoy the indoor activities, and 20% enjoy both of the indoor and outdoor activities. So also some kind of a variety in the responses. I think that's for me, and maybe Mohammed Tahmas wanted to continue from there.
Yes, thank you, Alia.
Thanks, Mohammed.
Everyone, happy to share the survey results with you guys. Just I'm covering the different aspects of life that in Australia, like study, food, and sport. However, it's like a big area of like we could have like more than 100 questions, but just we don't have much time, and just according to the scope of our like presentation, we have to like make it as minimum and as basic as possible. So we asked our cadet friends about the study admission, how they started the admission process, and it was easy for them or too difficult for them. As we can see, according to the results, it's like most of the people say it is easy and straightforward. They could apply for that, and some people say it's neutral, like what they had experienced before. So it's good. And in terms of foods, we asked them like which food they prefer. Do they prefer eating in restaurants or fast foods or homemade? But most of people say that they prefer eating homemade foods. But some people, just few of them, like 2 people, say that fast food, and just one gentleman said he likes to eat in restaurants. Or it's different ideas, but most people go with homemade one. And we asked them about the shopping, where they go, like usually where they go for shopping, and the result is as obvious that everyone prefer and go to shopping in a store, like their local shops, like general shopping centers. But most of people, and no one choose like going online. That's it. And also we ask them which one they prefer, in the store or online, and which one they can like trust more, the online stuff they receive or the online shopping they do, or whatever they can go and in the store and do shopping themselves, and which one is easier for them. Most of people again say that online is better. However, that some people say in-store shopping is they said that in-store is better, but some people said just because that online one is easier and we can have all list of items that we need, and according to that list we can choose and prefer whatever you are buying, so it is easier and relaxing thing that they can do it all the time, so they do it, some people with online one. And in terms of sports, also we ask them some questions, the cadets, about their favorite teams and which game they are playing or what they like about the sport. But the first question we asked them was about their favorite sport team, and we see that different people have different sports. And also I asked them about their local team, what team they support. And as we can see that there are different teams from football, soccer, and yeah, and London champions. This is the best team, I think. Yeah, one of friends choose and it is their own team. So that's it. That was the summary. That was the general question that we asked our friend cadets. And according to that questionnaire that we have, however, we didn't have chance to go much deeper and I asked them more about their life in Australia, but we try to cover as much as possible. And according to that survey, we can see that most of people have arrived to Australia between 2018, our friend cadets between 2018 and 2020. Maybe 70% of our friends came between this time, 2018 and 2020. And the people, most of them live in suburban areas. And also they prefer living in suburb. Most of them live in suburb, and their preference are also living in suburb areas because of they have access to all the amenities and all the facilities they need. And also some suburb they find it quiet and they relax to they have enough space to enjoy time and everything, so they go with suburb areas. And the majority of people that about the admission and study, as we could see there on the graph, most of people say that it is straightforward and too easy for them to apply. So that was what they said. And according to on basis of the what we asked them about shopping, we could see that almost everyone, 10 out of 10 cadets selected shopping in store is better than they are doing it shopping in store, but just few people prefer shopping online, but still they are doing it in store. And about the soccer team, that about the football, we could see that most of people love soccer here from our friend cadets, and they have different teams. And also we had some people they don't play any sport, and they say we don't like any sport, so that is their own choice. And but most of people go with soccer. Yeah, that was our presentation, and thank you everyone for listening to us. Thank you, Arya.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Thank you. I think this is all for our presentation for Group 3. Thanks everyone for listening. And I pass it to Ashley now. Thank you.
Very good. Well done. My first question is, why would you support the Hawks or Richmond as your local team? Who in their right mind would support the Hawks or Richmond?
It depends on the area you live.
Okay. So the sport teams is based on where you live. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not based on the team's history or the team's culture,
No.
or the team's performance.
Yeah, no, because we support them when they were on the top of the league, and we support them when they are on the end of the list. Yeah.
So you are a historical fan, yes, or a retrospective fan. Okay, I see. Very good, very good, excellent. Okay, so just some feedback. I've put that into the chat. Again, very nice introduction, very nice transitions. attractive slides, very attractive, visually attractive graphs. I really liked the synthesis of the reasons why the reasons why Epic Cadets might come to Australia as well. That was very that's sort of like the next step that you can take. You find some data and then you explain why, okay, or you present some possible reasons why this might have happened. All right, just how I got some possible reasons for why Epic Cadets might support the Hawks or Richmond. Okay, and then Alia just explained that's because we used to like them when they're on the top of the ladder, or that's because they were the local team at the time. Okay, so very good. I also liked, again, the way you incorporated the question into your slide title. Very professional, very detailed. And I thought the summary slide that Mohammed Thomas read at the end was really good. That's a really nice way of rounding it out. So yeah, really good job. All right. Cool. Okay. So I was thinking we should do group 2 next, unless there are any other cadets that have to leave for training or meetings.
Yes, please. Room 4. Nihad, if you're available, we can go. I just need to go to another room to set it up.
All right, cool. So
just
let's
give me just 60 seconds.
Yep, let's do. Cool. We'll do group 4. So Ahmed, Kandash, Barak, Mohammed, Nihad. We'll do you guys now. Nihad is back from his paternal duties. Sorry, can you just give me 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just talking to a colleague. So yep, if you guys can set up, and then after group 4, we'll do group 2. 10 seconds, guys. I just need to talk to someone.
Thanks, Bart, for opening the PowerPoint slides.
No problem. I hope my battery lasts though during the presentation.
Well, we better start
then. If I go silent, don't worry about me. I'm safe. It's just my laptop.
All right.
Oh yes. Okay. Good.
All right. Good. You guys ready?
Group 4, are you ready?
Yeah, sorry. Bart,
yeah, we are. So Nihad, you're starting?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nihad Al-Saadi. Today, I and my colleagues, Barak Mohammed and Ahmed Kandash, will present our survey on the topic of improve English skills, which is methods cadets use to improve their English skills. I will present the first 4 questions, and my colleagues will present the rest of the questions. The first slides, could you please start, please? Yeah. Thank you. The first slide shows the survey results of the first question. The question is English your first language?
Bloody legends, right.
So, 100% of selected EPIC student result where that English is not their first language, which is unsurprising. Thank you. Now we will move to the next slide. The survey result of the second question, which is how long have you been using English? 4. As shown on the second slide in the PowerPoint, it shows that 50% of the EPIC students used English from around 1 to 5 years. 20% of them used English between 5 to 10 years, and only 30% of the EPIC students used English for around 10 to 15 years. Now we will move to the third slides. The third slide shows the answer to the third question. How do you mainly learn English for speaking and listening? This slide shows that around 60% of the selected EPIC students learn to improve their speaking and listening through English lessons. 30% of them improve this activity through talking to the people, and only around 10% of them through using the internet. The answer of the fourth question, we will find it on the slide, the fourth slide. The answer to the fourth question, which is how do you mainly learn English for writing and the reading? The survey result shows that around 60% of the students improve the writing and the reading through English lessons, and only around 40% of them through the internet. Now I will leave it to Barak to present the rest of the questions. Thanks for your listening.
All right, thanks, Nihad, and thanks, guys, for your attendance. I think Ahmed is not present today, so I'll cover for him. So we move on to the fifth question. On average, how many people do you interact in English with per day? We got 10%. They interact with 4 to 7 people a day in English. You got 40%. You got 50% interact with 7 to 10 people per day, and you got 40% interacting with 10 people and above. Moving on. So when we ask for the reasons for this question, basically some people attributed the reason for confidence. So some people say because English is not their first language, they may not be in a confident state to carry out a conversation. The other group of people said they have the confidence, but sometimes they get lost in words and they fail to express themselves. So it goes to the capability to express. Now we ask people, do you think or journal in English or your native language? We've got 80% of people, they responded in their native language, and 20% journal or think in English. I think this is just a preference thing, really. And it can be also the challenge of language, but some people also are capable in English, but they prefer to use their native language, so it can be both. 9, do you take personal notes in English or in your native language? This is similar to the previous question, but this is more of when they are listening to something, for example, and they're taking notes on the fly. So 10% said in their native language and 90% in English, which is not congruent with the former question. Do you think or journal in English? And probably this is because of demand. Sometimes people attend a class in English, for example, and they have to take notes in English, or at work they have to take notes in English to match the content of the presentation that they're attending. 10, do you prefer online or face-to-face learning of the English language? 30% of people said online and 70% said face-to-face. This can be a preference thing, but also it can be due to the efficiency of face-to-face classes. Some people find it better to be present amongst the group. If they have a question, for example, or they need help, they can do it promptly when they're present next to each other. 11, how do you keep yourself motivated to learn English? So we've got 20% of people, you got 10% of people, they said the demand to communicate. So that's how they motivate themselves to continue to speak English. 20% are interested in English, so they could be watching movies, listening to songs, or things like that. And the remaining 70% is because they like to follow podcasts or news. So it's more of, it's not entertainment per se, but also they demand or they require the information that is being delivered in English, and that's how they motivate themselves to keep up with their English skills. 12, what's more important to you when we ask people? Grammar, pronunciation, accent, or vocabulary. You got only 8% of people saying grammar. 30% said vocabulary, and 62% is pronunciation. And this can be attributed to the 62% preferring pronunciation can be because people feel the pressure that they need to sound better in order to fit in, perhaps in a workplace or in a social gathering. So yeah, it could be based on that. And 13, what's more challenging to you in learning English? Writing, reading, speaking, or listening? We got 10% saying listening, got another 10% speaking, 30% reading, and the majority, 50%, is writing, which is not surprising. A lot of us have done IELTS in the past, and we found the most difficult component is writing, because there are more elements to pay attention to with that. And with that question, we come to the end of our presentation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, thanks, Barak. Send the rest of the slides. Thank you.
Cool. Why were you interested in how people learn English?
As we discussed between us in the group, for the topics that Ashley sent to us, we find as we are doing English course to improve English, we reach at the end, all the group is choose the English, and we need to learn more about if there is any technique to keep using to learn the English. I leave it to that. Need to add something.
Yeah, and it's more relevant to all of us, I would say, whose native language is not English, whose first language is not English. So I think it's an element of commonality that we all have, that we all had to learn English at a certain stage. We didn't inherit it, and yeah, so that's maybe why it got our interest.
We keep learning.
Yeah, no, it's interesting that you chose that, because as people working in English language teaching, we're always after students' perspectives on the way they learn English and the things that they do, the things they find enjoyable, the things that motivate them to learn English, the reasons why, things like that. But it can be like extracting blood from a stone, getting meaningful and interesting responses. So it was really good that you guys undertook that topic and produced such, you got some really interesting answers. And I thought it was really interesting that people take notes in English, but then they address anything in their personal lives in their native language or their first language. And I think a lot of that comes down to language identity and using the L1, so first language, to sort of address any sort of interpersonal or personal things that might be on their minds. And I think that's that's a really interesting observation that you guys made. So well done.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, it shows to me at least that people tend to use English when there's more demand of them to be using English, like taking notes, for example, in a class like this, or when we attend uni, or when we are at work and we have to take notes of the presentation that we are attending at work. Because it's been delivered in English, we are demanded to use English. But when we have the choice, perhaps majority of people tend to go to their comfort zone and use their native language because it's easier to do it that way, as opposed to apply more pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Barak mentioned, yeah. It just depends. Sometimes if we find some from the native language, and if there is some Aussie people around, for me, I use the English to talk with them. But if I alone, I will talk the native language. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Excellent. Cool. All right. Really good. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with group 6, and then we'll go with group 2, and then group 1. Okay. Cool. All right.
Thanks,
really
everybody.
good. No worries. Thanks, guys. Very good. Very enjoyable so far. I've really appreciated your efforts and your insights, and also the critical thinking element. You know, why did your group receive this data? Did it match your expectations? Some of you have even said that it didn't, or was inconsistent with previous questions. So that sort of cross-checking is really, really good and really important, especially when you when you move into writing, critical writing, and also when you move into research as well. That sort of extra level of investigation and inquiry is really important. Excellent. All right, cool. Group 6, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed Tarek Zia, so I'll be representing Group 6, and also we'll hand over the slides to each other whenever we are presenting. The subject that we had for this top survey is life in Australia. I don't know, can you see the screen, which is shared by Abdul Karim? Yep, yeah, great. Yeah, lifestyle in Australia. The group that we worked together were consisting of 4 people, Abdul Karim, myself, and Kamal Nur Hussain and Ahmed Walid Ghiasi. If we go to the next slide,
Try to shift it into presentation mode. So click slideshow and then play.
Karim has shared his screen.
Yes. So Karim, if you can click on slideshow and then hit play.
Hello.
Yes, very good.
So as I said, that 4 people worked together to create this presentation and this survey. With that, we can go to the next slide. Yeah, in this survey, we had 10 different questions that we asked participants, students during this class. Actually, we asked 10 cadets. We had 11 questions. The topics from different topics, hobbies, weather, their adaptability to Australia, to their new life, and also we finished the survey by asking how they recommend their friends to come to Australia and live in Australia. With that, the first question that we had in our survey was asking the participants and the students how old were they when they moved to Australia. So what we were really after by asking this question to find out what is the the maximum or the higher graph of the age that people becomes a refugee and goes to another country. With this question and the participants that we asked, we found out that 90% of them were between 20 to 40 years old, that they become an immigrant and move to another country. And 1% was above 40 years old. And yeah, most of our friends and colleagues were between 20 to 40 years old. So I'll hand over the presentation to Abdul Karim to take on.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I had difficulty moving between slides. So to continue, our next question was, how would people see the weather in Australia? So we asked people to give a rating between 0 being worst and 10 being the best. So the lowest rating was 2 people who had given one person who given the rating of 2 and one person who gave rating of 10 as the highest, and the average rating was 6.5 out of 10 people. The average rating was 6.5. And our follow-up question was, which state would you like to live in Australia the most? From the result, it showed that 60% of the people we asked preferred Victoria. Considering we are all in Victoria, I think some people are trying to escape from Victoria. It could be just to multiple reasons, but based on finding, 20 people like Queensland, and even though we haven't showed in the questions, some people prefer the weather to be a decider to move to Queensland. The other question was public transport or transport in general. 70% of people responded with cars, and 10% would be trams, and 20% of the people we asked questions responded with trains. Based on the finding, we could assume or conclude that people preferred flexibility of travel and comfort over traveling or using public transport. And I think it's a matter of convenience based on people mode of transport. And the fifth question would be, what kind of activities do people enjoy doing in Australia? And 31% doing sports, 23% camping, 23% going to the beach, 15% dining out, 8% museums, and music festivals and others activities, not big. So I think most of our activities were outdoorsy. So I think most of the people out there to be active and going outside rather than being in dining experience or being in museum. And I would pass on to Ahmed Qazi to continue to the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Karim, and my fellows in this group. Before we continue to the slide, I would like to say that the aim of this survey for us was to get the data and mostly the figures, and to create an image for anyone who's not living in Australia, as as our topic is life in Australia. So we try to give anyone who's outside of Australia to have a kind of image of the lifestyle and the how life is in Australia, in fact. So we try to create this survey and this presentation very brief but very informative. So that's why we directly go to the questions and answers and ratings and get the data and figures so that we could have a very wide, a wider image and broader image of life in Australia. So my part covers the questions from 6, which starts from question number 6. And the question is, how do you rate the experience of making new friends in Australia? Basically, we all know that if you think about every new place, we get to know, we have to like get enough information about a few very key aspects of life there in every new country, which are like making friends, like being social, when you care about your health, when you care about your costs of life, and the surroundings and everything, when you consider going to another country. So these are the most important things you think of, and then you make your decisions to move to another country, and you can consider and imagine the life there. So the question, how do you rate the experience of making new friends in Australia? We had 2 options as answers for this question. The first one is very easy, the other one is very hard. We surveyed like more than 10 people, and one of them answered by it was very easy to make friends, which is a bit strange because in Australia you can make friends very easily. But most other people answered it by saying it's very hard, which I actually find it the real thing. Because we know that individualism has a very high rate in Australia, so everyone is kind of only thinking about themselves and very small number around them, very close ones. Not everyone else, not the whole society, or not the whole people in their state. So the average of those people replied in answer to this question, the average was 6.7, which gives us like a higher difficulty difficulty rate in finding new friends and making new friends. Can you go to the next slide, please? If you can hear me, can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Next, yes, thank you. Next question is, how do you rate the cost of living in Australia? More importantly, even important than friends, is the cost of where you live. So we try to have different options because people will definitely have different perspectives and views about the costs in their standards of living. So we have the answer A, very cheap, B, cheap, C, expensive, D, very expensive. And out of all those people that participated in our surveys, most of them answered and chose answer C, which is expensive, and 40% answered and chose D, which is very expensive, which I kind of agree to both of them. Like some of the very essential things you might need to live in Australia, they are expensive. But if you want to have a better standard and a higher standard of life in Australia, so definitely you will encounter the option very expensive. Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Next question is, how do you rate the healthcare system in Australia? As I mentioned before, one of the most important aspects of moving to a new place or considering living in another country, you would definitely think of healthcare. What happens if you get unwell, and how would you find the services around healthcare? How could you can you have a peace of mind living or going to another country and living in there? If you don't think about the healthcare and cost and stuff, you wouldn't have the peace of mind. So healthcare is a part of it. We have 4 answers to this question: A, very poor; B, poor; C, good; D, excellent. Out of the number of the people we surveyed, most of them answered and chose C as good, which actually is. I agree to them. 20% chose very poor, and 20 other percent also chose poor, which I respect every answer they chose. That's their thoughts and the way of thinking. But I agree to 60%, which is good. Question number 9 asks, what have you liked the most doing during your time in Australia? This is also a good question, very key and specific questions about the time that you might spend in another country and your lifetime in another country. You should know definitely what you're going to do there if you have with the time that you have there. So the people answered differently about we have the answers: people, transport, food, culture, all. So what did you most like about these out of these 5 options? 50% of the people we surveyed answered all. It's like kind of amazing. They definitely like the transport, food, culture, and people. Yeah, and I agree to them. Most of people are very kind and humane, and they're very helpful. Of course, you might find some negative points in people everywhere in the world, but what matters is the general interaction of people with you, which is just positive and it's good. So I agree to answer, and I chose answer E, all. About 10% of people we surveyed answered. They chose the answer A. It said it's the thing they most liked was the people. 30% of the people being surveyed or were surveyed chose transport. 10% chose culture, and none of the people we surveyed chose food, which I understand because every country has different type of the food and different culture of eating, and which definitely differs from the one in Australia. So they may not like whatever they find in restaurants or in their fast food or whatever they kind of try to have for as their meals and food. So I agree to them. I agree with them that they may not like it, and they have the choice not to agree with food and not like it. Yeah. Now I hand over to Kamal.
Thank you very much, Ahmed.
Cheers.
Yes, continuing on with the survey, we have last 2 questions. I hope you guys are still with us. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible because most of my colleagues covered most of the questions. So we have the last 2 questions. So after covering the survey questions of weather, transport, healthcare, and all, we have question number 10 that says, how does Australia compare to your home country? As we see the pie chart, and overwhelming people considered 90% prefer living in Australia, while 10% said the same compared to their home countries, and unfortunately 0% prefer their home countries. So we go on to the last question. After collecting most of the data, we have asked, would you recommend your friends to move to Australia? And the majority of 90% said yes, while 10% said no, and 0% were not sure whether to recommend or not. In conclusion of our survey collected on life in Australia, in summary, based on the survey, we conclude that even though people had difficulty adjusting to the life in Australia, to live in Australia, 90% of the surveyed people preferred life in Australia over other countries. Also, 90% would recommend a friend to move to Australia. So in the end, an overwhelming approval for the life in Australia. I hope that covers all of our questions. And if we're happy to receive any questions.
You're mute, Ashley, I think.
Sorry, yes. Awesome, well done. That was really good. I put in some comments. I thought your observations about the sort of social habits of Australians was really interesting. No, I don't think you were saying that Australians are necessarily only concerned with themselves or that they are selfish, but I guess there are different kind of practices, and that might be a cultural thing that you guys have had to adjust to, which I thought was an interesting observation. Yes, you are very individual, and you can sort of say and do what you kind of want in a variety of social settings and scenes here to a large degree, which is different from some other places. Okay, so that was an interesting observation. Also, question 9 was interesting as well. I thought it was interesting, maybe a little follow-up question on preferring Australia to your home country would have been interesting. You know, focusing on things that you might miss or about your home country, sort of regarding, you know, language or culture or food, or if anyone has experienced any homesickness, or if anyone plans to return home, maybe kind of those questions, a question around that to follow up from, do you prefer Australia or the country you were in before Australia would have been interesting. Otherwise, yeah, great summary, very clear slides, very clear data, really good.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah, okay, so that's four done, and they've all been very interesting, and they've all been very well done, very well transitioned, effectively managed, professionally delivered. You guys are doing a great job. Let's move on to group 2.
Hi everyone, good morning. So I will be presenting this presentation. I'll be the first to present for group 2. So I will share my screen to you guys. Okay. So this presentation is based on group 2, which is life in Australia. The group members are as follows. I'm Abdullah Al-Kali Mayaki, I'm from Nigeria, and Abdullah Al-Mambachi is from Yemen, and Moy Al-Rashidi is from Yemen also, and our last group member, who is Rami Makul, is from Syria. So can everyone hear me?
Yes, just make sure
Yes,
you just click on slideshow.
Okay.
Just so we can have the maximum. So slideshow. Yep. No, not that one. Sorry, just close that. Now go slideshow. So just to the right. To the right.
This one?
No, a bit slideshow. So to the right. To the right. Below.
Hello, yeah.
Press F5.
Yep.
Oh, slideshow, this one, right?
Yes, click on that.
Okay.
And go from beginning.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, lovely.
Why is it doing that?
Okay, so what happened is it's showing the complete slideshow in my second screen, not this screen. I have 2 screens.
Okay, cool. So make sure you're sharing the one that has.
Uh-oh. Sorry for this technical issue. Let me try and see.
No, that's okay. Take your time.
Okay, let me stop sharing and try resharing again.
Yep, so just make sure you choose the screen with the slideshow. Yes, beautiful.
Right. All right, great. Just a minute, please. Just a minute, I'm coming. Sorry, I'm just arranging my presentation quickly. I'm really sorry for these technical issues, but I'm trying to correct it now. Right, I think we are almost done. Okay. So thank you so much for your patience. I'm going to start the slide now. Right. So this survey is based on group 2 and our topic is life in Australia, and the group members are as follows, which is me, Abdullah Al-Ghali Mayaki from Nigeria, Abdullah El Mambashi from Yemen, Moy Al-Rashidi also from Yemen, and Rami Mokul, who is from Syria. So based on on this slide and this topic that we chose, we decided to ask some demographic questions, which number one, which is this survey question was asked as one of the demographic question to get to understand the root and background of 10 cadets that volunteer for this survey. And the result was good. It shows that majority of volunteers come from Middle Eastern countries whose first language is Arabic. So 3 cadets came from Iraq, 2 cadets came from 3 cadets came from Syria, 2 cadets came from Iraq, 2 cadets came from Yemen, 1 cadet is from Nigeria, which is the only English-speaking country in this survey and is located in West Africa, and 1 cadet is from Somaliland, which is also located in northeast of Africa. So we're curiously, because of the topic we chose, and we decided to ask our second demographic question, which was how many languages does this cadet speak? And the result was as follows. So I'm really sorry. So how many languages can this cadet speak? And 1 cadet indicated he can speak 4 languages. 5 cadets indicated that they can speak 3 languages, and 4 cadets indicated that they can speak 2 languages. So our third question was asked like this. We came up with another survey question to understand how many cadets spend on house rent per month, and the result was simple and straightforward. So 6 cadets indicated that they spend more than $650 per month, which shows 60% on our pie chart. 2 cadets indicated that they spend between $500 to $550 on rent per month, which shows 20% on our pie chart. 1 cadet indicated that his company pay for his house rent, which is shown as 10% on our pie chart. And the rest of the cadets indicated that their monthly spending on house rent varies. So I will hand over the next slide question to my colleague Rami, who is starting from survey number 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Miyaki. Thank you. Just before I start, I want to be sure that everyone is hearing me because I think I have some problem. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, hi Ashley and hi Russell if you are still listening to us, and hi everyone. Okay, and I hope one day I can see you face to face, all of you, okay, and meet together. Okay, and I will continue our survey, which now I think we are on survey number 4. We were discussing about the type of commute used to work, especially at the bad circumstances. Now we are passing through the location about the projects we are doing, okay, and also for the increasing prices about the petrol. So when we discuss with our colleagues about transportation they are using to get to work, okay, we found that 80%, which about 8%, okay, they are using their own cars because they think that it's like the best kind of transportation. They use it, okay, compared with other kind of transport, especially that they don't need to change their direction directly, okay, and they know the same route they are choosing every day, okay, and also this is my opinion. Also, they have to take care about the petrol prices and that, but this is including in the comparison with other transport. And besides this 80%, we found that also we have 20%, okay, this split between 10 and 10. 10 of them, they prefer to use their car and train, and the rest 10% they prefer to use bus and tram also. And maybe I forget to mention that this 10% which represent one colleague who is using his car and train, as he said, okay, he used to use his car until the train station and park there, and after that he used the train to finish the rest of his trip going to his work. Okay, let's move Miyake, please, to the next. Yes, next question, which is what is the amount spent? As because we are talking about the transportation, okay, and as I mentioned about the petrol prices, and so the question was, okay, what amount spent on transportations per month? Here we have 3 categories. Okay, the most 50%, the majority is was talking about that they spent about between 200 to 300, okay, per month, and 30%, okay, they spent more than $300, and less than 200. 20% of the colleagues mentioned that it's okay for them. Okay. Here I have to just to indicate myself, okay, in this more than 300, because plus as I mentioned before in front of you, okay, plus my location is far about 77 kilometers from my house, okay, and I have to pay also for the toll linked daily. Yes, what we have to do, okay, that this is our choice, okay, and maybe just I hope that in the coming future, okay, we can change the maybe the location, or maybe we can, or the government, we can find another solution, or the prices will be like less. So Mayaki, let's go to the last question of mine today. Yeah, the last question for me before I move to my colleague for the rest of questions. The question says, okay, do you like the weather in Melbourne of Australia? Yeah, okay. As we mentioned from the Aussie people here say that, okay, every day in Melbourne we have 4 seasons. And especially today is very cold here as I am working here. So the choice is split between all the colleagues. Okay, we have majority and more than majority said that the weather is acceptable, about 70%. Okay, and the remaining about 20% they agree I think in this one, okay, 30% plus 70%, we don't have anyone disagreed about the weather. It means 3%, okay, they agree, they totally agreed, okay, and 70% they say acceptable. But I think during this acceptable, okay, I think the opinions, as when we were verbally talking, okay, they said that sometimes we prefer, okay, we prefer to move to another state, especially to the north of Victoria. Maybe the weather is better and more suitable. Especially most of us are coming from the Middle East, which the temperature, okay, is especially in Saudi Arabia or the Yemen or the Nigeria, Africa, okay, the temperature there used to be higher than here. Yeah, so maybe the other than Victoria is more suitable for the people. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, okay, for listening for all of you, okay, and I hope this was a good experience also for me to make my presentation in front of you. And I will move now to my friend Mr. Moy, okay, to finish the rest of questions. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.
So we hand it over to Moy. Moy, are you sharing your screen?
That's all right. You can share. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, guys. Continuing with presenting our data. The next one was regarding the cadets hobbies in Australia. As you can see, where football ranked as the highest hobby with 40% of the cadets, followed by cinema, barbecue, and gaming at 30% of the cadets. And then at the same rate, simultaneously, football, cycling, camping, and football, hiking, camping, as well as listening to music, barbecue with 10% of the cadets. The next one was regarding we asked also the cadets regarding whether they cook at home or buy from restaurants, and the vast majority of them were which are like 80% really cook at home, while not at home, well, 80% prefer both restaurant and at home, while 20%, which is the minority, it's at home only. We also asked the cadets regarding the number of hours they work per week. And as you can see from the data, the majority of them work 38 hours, which is the normal working hours in Australia. 60% of them, followed by the 40%, which where they work like more than 38 hours. The last one, we also asked the cadets where they prefer to work, in the office or from home. And as you can see, half of them prefer working between office and home, followed by 30% of them which prefer working from the office, and the least is from home, which is 20%, which was surprising for us, because we thought with this freezing weather, people would prefer to stay at home actually. Yeah, I think that's all from us. And to conclude our presentation and the survey data, the results of the survey was quite matching our perception of the answers. However, there was the hobbies question, which is how to forecast, because it doesn't actually depends on the allocation or the country you are at. It depends on the personality of the person. That's all from us, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Moe, I really like that observation that you made at the end about whether or not they matched your perceptions or your expectations. Whenever we undertake any research or whenever we undertake anything in life, I think we have some preconceived ideas about what things might look like or what things or what our expectations are and what people might say or what we might say or how we might feel. So yeah, that was a nice little touch to add. Again, really good incorporation and synthesis of your survey questions into slide titles. That was excellent. Okay, thanks, Russell. Catch you soon. I also received your email, Russell, so that's good. I thought Rami's observation about the soaring, well, I guess they've sort of stabilized at the moment, petrol prices, but that hasn't deterred people's preferences from driving. I mean, it's easy for me because I don't need to drive for my work, so it's never a problem. But I can appreciate that it's very expensive. Yeah. So,
I kind of like the idea from Rami. I'm someone that actually enjoy driving my own car, whatever the condition, whether I can use train. I prefer driving my own car because of my own comfort. I can stop by the way, buy my own coffee. I can stop by the way, fill up my tank. I can enjoy my kind of music. I can decide to on my heater, or I can just decide to enjoy the loud sound of my diesel engine. So I just like freedom. I'm someone, I'm always alone anyway in life. I'm somebody that likes to enjoy his own comfort. I have my PS5 with me. I have my big television. I just like, independent. I love my own kind of life. So I'm somebody like that. So I understand where Rami is coming from. Yeah, some people have that kind of perception. Yeah, lovely.
Rami, you're muted.
You okay? Just the previous year, I was working as an Uber driver. Okay. Yeah. So before I couldn't find a job, so I tried to work as Uber driver. Okay, and I got a good experience here, especially. Regardless, I have driving in Saudi Arabia. Okay, maybe the same wide roads. Okay, and the same infrastructure. Okay, and the same like geography and nature. Okay, but here really okay. Everything you do it for the first time, okay, you feel that, okay, you are getting more skills and more experience, okay, especially in like making good conversation with the Aussies people here, okay, as a passengers, okay, and try to see multi cultures, okay, and all this one, okay, like coming, okay, just to improve our English, okay, also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to ask, maybe you were asking about the English, just how to improve English, okay? I want just to focus on here, especially which I am seeing here on site, okay? Just listening English, okay? Understanding the English, not the English which you are talking now, okay? The English which I am hearing here on site, okay? By the supervisor. This is totally different about the English you are speaking now here. Okay.
Well, we're in a
yes, sometimes okay, you have like to focus on, but what I feel, okay, I don't feel any shame, okay, just I catch the person, okay, and ask him, okay, just say, maybe this is small phrase, it's not complicated sentence, maybe he's saying just how are you, okay, but he's saying in his way, okay, so I said, because for me, okay, if he say how are you in his way, okay, like he's swearing me, I don't know the difference, okay, just I want to catch him, just please say again what you have said. I want to understand. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great. So yes, workplace. I imagine since many of you are on site, the register, I dare say, would be less formal than the register I provide you. Universities and construction sites are different places. hence there's a different level of register. But Rami, as you said, if you don't understand, just ask them politely to repeat or perhaps to paraphrase what they said in a way which you understand. And then you can develop your linguistic repertoire and your colloquialisms and your knowledge of, you know, idiomatic phrases, and that will help you, you know, when you engage with, you know, anyone else in Australia. Okay, so it does take a little bit of time. But yes, I'm sure you would have met some very interesting people in your time working in Uber, and but I'm also glad that you can now upskill and pursue your career in engineering. So it's good. Lovely, awesome, easy going fella. There you go. There's an idiom. Love it. All right. Cool. Okay. Thank you everyone for your work. It's been really good. Thank you for your patience and your interest and your engagement and for paying attention and for being interested in everybody else's presentations. We've just got one last group, which is group 1. I can see that Zaid is raring to go. Okay, so Mohammed, Ahmed, Rami, Zaksuk, Zaid, and Omar, please.
Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Beautiful. Finally, group 1, get the opportunity to present. All right. My name is Zaid Al Talib, and my group members. Hold on. I lost the presentation slide. All right, here we go. So my group members are Rami Zakzouk, Muhammad Ahmed, and Omar Al Isa. So what we're presenting today is we thought of picking a topic that is related to everyone, obviously. So EPIC program, in our opinion, we all have this program in common. So that is the main reason we picked this topic. So the main idea of the survey is to get the get an idea of the participant on their experience with the EPIC program. So as we can see here, this survey covers the overall experience with the EPIC program based on the current participants for 2022 intake. I know the picture is not for this intake, but that's the only picture I can get from the internet. So, yep. All right, so moving with our first question. So our first question was, how did you hear about the EPIC program? And surprisingly, more than 75% of the cadets say that they heard about this program from friends, not from somewhere else, which is myself included. I've heard about this program from friend because I didn't know where else this program exists. So, yep. And only a small percentage said they have actually heard about this program from a recruitment agency. So here we go. I'll always stay connected with your friends, and you know, you can always get good stuff from them. So next, since we did not have so many questions, I will just pass to my colleague Rami to carry on with the presentation. And yeah.
Yes, hello everyone. I just like to talk about the EPIC program. What's EPIC program? First, the EPIC program is a program which helped the refugees and asylum seekers to find a job where they had overseas experience in engineering in general. So they help them out to find a job and participate their overseas experience in Australia. So why did you join the EPIC program? So everyone has the different reason for joining the EPIC program. Some of them saying like pursue my career, finding a job, and seek a local experience. So majority is pursue my career, finding a job. That's a common thing for everyone. Everyone wants to find a job. Seek a local experience. That's good. It's not a high percentage, but I guess like everyone here looking for a local experience to get into the industry. Next slide, please. How was your experience with the application process? Okay, so we have a different opinion in here. So people says that it's good. Some says easy, some says very good. So the percentage of very good, which is not that high, that's mean there's a place to improve the application and process in the program. Easy, which is, I agree, like, yeah, it's not that complicated program to apply for. And the good, which is like the majority are happy the way the application goes. Next slide, please. Do you have experience in engineering? Okay, so let's say 90% of the people has experience in engineering, but the 90% is overseas experience, not a local experience, which that makes it hard for international people to get a job in Australia without a local experience. Some people says somehow, so some people like they have experience in their field, but something related to their field is not actually their field into there. For example, a roof trusses. So when roof trusses is something related to civil engineering, but it's not a real civil engineering job. Next slide. Which company have you chosen for your training now? So everyone chose a different company when they applied for a program. So this is the three most of the people been into that companies, and there's other companies, Langerock, Semory White, I guess. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, and Winslow. So there's other companies, of course, which is related to others, but sometimes you choose the company, but unfortunately you don't proceed with that. So they gave you another option with a different company. So in that situation, people like whatever they choose, not really what they get. Some of them, they get what they want. Some of them, no, they give them another options because the vacancy already filled with these people who applied first. So I will pass to the next presenter.
So yeah, as everyone said, we chose this topic because we really felt it reflects on everyone here. So the question that we did next was, did you have to relocate for your work? And as you could see, a majority of them said yes. Personally, because I had to relocate, so I did face that difficulty as well. But I would say it was a very good challenge to actually relocate and explore more of Australia, since most of us just moved recently to this country. So next slide. So the main challenges that an EPIC cadet faced in the first 3 months, and as you can see with the survey, we had communication, culture, and experience, and most of us had the issues with the communication part of as a main challenge in the first few months. Then the culture difference was not a big aspect, though I actually personally thought it would be. And the experience was the second biggest thing from our survey. So the good part of this survey is when you ask this question, are you all fitting in your workplace? And like a majority of the people who participated in the survey said yes, which is a good thing, because I personally feel I am fitting very well, and I was lucky that I got into a company and people were actually helping me to actually fit in, and knowing that everyone who's going through the same program are feeling the same kind of welcome in their workplace is very helpful. Next question. So how do you balance your time between work and study? So we all know that we have different kind of responsibilities. Some of us have families, kids to look after. So balancing time and time management is very critical, but it's not easy. It's easier said than done. So from the survey, we can see that some of us find it easy to manage, but majority just when it comes to the studies, they just prefer doing it in the weekend where they can actually have some downtime to focus on their studies. And some of the, like a few of the survey people said they actually do it in office during their breaks and just completing and finishing it off and getting it out of the way. And yeah, a few of them were like they just manage the schedule as much as they can and have a proper time management, which is a skill that I'm still trying to learn myself. So I'm going to pass it to Omar next to complete the presentation.
Hello everyone, could you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Well, yeah, and this is Emma, the last presenter and the last group presenting today. I'll go with the last couple of questions we had in our survey, and this one was talking about what the previous response to previous question does that affect your work performance and achieving your KPI, which means that the balance between work life and study specifically. Does that affect your KPI? Well, majority was that surprising me. That's more than 50%, up to 60 or 70, saying no, it doesn't affect at any percentage. Some of them say not for now, maybe around 15-20%, and quarter or 24-25% said yes, it does affect. But moving to the next question, it was like, so now we're talking the last or the after EPIC program. What is the plan for that? We asked our cadets, and majority of them, like, it was like there's two main answers. One of them continue with current employer, and others said continue my career in the industry. So some of them maybe looking for opportunity in different company or different role. Some of them, like around maybe 20%, said get a higher position that can be aligned along with continue my career in the industry. And last but not least, they said continue studying and get my master's, since this EPIC program involved the certificate 3 in infrastructure engineering management. So they would love to make it a master degree and upgrade it. Yep. The next one was saying about what's your overall experience with the program. Well, definitely, since Jade mentioned that before, this topic is like common for everyone from the cadets, and like all of us were like we were in the same path or facing the same difficulties. So 100 over 100 was it's a great experience in this program, and it's a great program in overall. And that's about it from group 1. And if there's any question, we are open and welcoming it. And thank you for actually all of our friends.
No worries. All right, cool. So I thought the slides were very clear, transitions were nice, really nice elaboration and expansion and explanation of some of the data in your topic. It was particularly interesting to learn about Muhammad Ahmed's relocation experiences. I mean, maybe this wasn't planned, but I guess the inadvertent benefit, okay, so an unexpected benefit was that you got to see more of Australia, which is cool. I mean, Australia is a big country and there's lots to see. So if you can see different things, then embrace it. I think that's a really good opportunity. Similar to Rami Zaksuk's transition to sail.
I think we all have to move. Like in my group, I think everyone has to move.
Okay, so yes, you're the relocation group.
That's it.
That's why that was the most important question for us.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Cool. So yeah, that was good. yeah, that synthesis and that criticality of being able to link your personal experiences and your group's experience with the data from the other participants is really good. So that's that sort of next level of, you know, integrating data and evidence and sort of providing an explanation for it. So that was really good. Well done. All right, cool. So that concludes the presentations. What I have developed is, and you can complete this in your own time. We'll finish a little bit early, but I've created a very brief reflection task. Okay, it's just got, and it's also got a nice little note from me saying congratulations and thank you. And if you are on campus and would like to get a coffee, send me an email. Please do it. Or if you are on campus and you see me and you avoid me, that's okay as well. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see you. These are just some questions about your experiences, and if you could complete them with, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 sentences using the prompts, that would be really great. I'd really appreciate that, just so that I know what your experiences were like, and we can make any improvements to the materials and the delivery of the courses moving forward. Because as Russell said, this program is likely to continue, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for you, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for me to learn about your lives and to participate with different members of the international and of the Melburnian community. So it's a really good opportunity. So yeah, like enjoyable, what you liked a lot, what you found useful, what you found engaging. So engaging was sort of fun. Maybe things you needed more of that could relate to a particular skill, or it would have been better if. So this relates to perhaps any suggestions for improvement. If you have no comments about any of them, you don't have to answer. Okay. So if you could please complete the brief written survey and email it to me. Cool. I'm just going to share that.
Do you want us to complete the written survey today or now?
If you could complete it now, that would be great. I'm just gonna share the link with you. Sorry. Yep. If you can complete it, just let me upload it. Sorry, guys. Once you have full access to Swinburne, it's so much easier to distribute documents. I don't have to send links. You can just send files through the Teams chat. So. Cool. Okay, link is in chat. So when you have finished, it should only take 10 minutes. When you have finished, if you could email it to me, and then you can go, and then we're all done. And I will sit at my desk and be very sad because I will miss you guys. You've been a very nice class.
Thank you.
All right, actually, I just concluded my survey and I'm going to email it to you right now. I want to thank you and the rest of my colleagues for this amazing journey. And I wish every one of you the best of luck. And I'm looking forward to meet you guys in Swinburne University someday. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kindness.
No worries. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your contributions and for your energy and enthusiasm. It's been great.
Have a lovely week and we'll meet again. So
I hope so too. Cheers.
bye-bye.
Thank you, Omar. Okay, thank you, Nihad. All right, thanks, guys. Cool. If you've sent me your reflection, you are welcome to leave.
Okay, thank you, Ashley, so much for your time, for your classes.
No worries. Yeah,
To
glad you
be
enjoyed
in your
it.
class. I hope to see you one day in real life. Let's see how it goes.
Might have to go and visit. Might have to go and visit you in Gippsland.
You're welcome, but there's nothing. Don't expect much in here.
A sort of bit of a drive-through kind of place. Anyway, no, it's been good. Thank you. All the best.
Yeah, all the best. Thanks. See ya.
Cheers. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Ashley, for the classes.
No worries. Thank you. My pleasure. All the very best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ashley. I send you email now.
Awesome.
Okay. See you.
Thank you, Rami. All the best.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Thank you, Mohammed Ahmed.
Thank you, Ashley. I just sent it through.
Thank you, Abdulkarim. I appreciate that. Thank you. All the very best.
You too. Hopefully we'll meet sometime in the future.
I hope so. You should be able to see me.
Yeah, if I do come down to Sweden, I'll say hello, of course.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Cheers, you too. Bye-bye.
Actually, the form you want us to email to you, yeah?
Yes, please, if that's okay. Thank you.
It's all done, yeah. I'm gonna email it right now. Thank you very much, Ashley, for your time.
Awesome.
Patience, understanding. Thank you very much. It was really
No
good.
worries. No, great. That's good. All the best. I hope to see you all again soon.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers.
I think I'm the last one. Yeah, I just finished now and send it to your email.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.